morning because I wanted to make a very public statement on behalf of probably the two best representatives that Norwalk can have, Chris Perone and Bruce Morris. We have a phenomenon that's going on this year, going into next year in the legislature, which is that we're losing a lot of our best talent in many cases around the House of Representatives. And now more than ever, we need folks at the legislature who have the experience, who have the knowledge, who have the talent, who know their own communities best, who can actually carry the load that is going to be necessary over the course of the next several years to represent their communities in effective ways and to also lead in the legislature. And you have no two better representatives in the House than Representative Perone and Representative Morris. Not to mention the former House member and Senator Duff, who is obviously doing his end in the upper chamber. Yeah, exactly. Both Chris and Bruce and I have worked together for several years now, working on economic development, working on educational opportunities, closing the achievement gap, and making sure that Connecticut is competitive, and bringing those realities to Norwalk in a way that's very tangible for all of the residents here. So I'm here in part to not only endorse but embrace both Bruce and Chris for their re-election in November. We hope that everyone in Norwalk will support them. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And, he's really done such a great job for the entire state of Connecticut. When you're Speaker, you have to represent all the interests of all the folks in the state, and he has certainly done that for Norwalk, and we certainly appreciate all of his efforts. Next we have our House Majority Leader, Joe Aresimowicz, who has really taken on a great cause of running the floor of the House and representing the interests of House Democrats. And he's here today as well, and we want to thank him for his support. He's been a great leader also, and we thank you for coming down from Berlin.
Thanks, sir. It is my pleasure to be here. Not only is it a beautiful day, rode down with the windows open, it wasn't too much traffic. I'm also here with not only two very good legislators, but two very good friends. The Speaker had it dead on that both Bruce and Chris have learned their way around the Capitol very effectively, have both risen to levels of leadership that allow them to do the great things for their cities and allow them to be the strong voice and the strong advocate for their districts and their cities up at the state capitol. And I think of Chris, and I think of the Commerce Committee, the chair of the Commerce Committee. You know, that's a huge role within the state of Connecticut, working hand in hand with DECD and the governor's office to ensure that Connecticut's become a place that we can be proud of, is more business friendly. If you think of this time period from 2000 to when Governor Moy came in 2010, we did assistance to around 168 companies. In the time period that Chris has been working on the Commerce Committee and been the chair of it, and the governor's been moving forward with his initiatives, we're well over 1,600 companies between the Small Business Express program, the Step Up program, and other economic development assistance offered. That's as a result of Chris's hard work. That's an advocate that you want on your behalf at the state capitol that knows his way around the building and knows how to get things done. I get the House floor done, so I know we work hand in hand. When those bills are ready, Chris is right there saying, run the bills, they're ready, they're good for the state, they're good for my district. And you have Bruce, who's raised to a level of leadership. Speaker Sharkey appointed him. And it was a great pick. And I worked hand in hand with Bruce. One of the subjects that was near and dear to his heart a couple of years ago, we were talking about some of the problems that we're having in this fair community with violence and youth violence and gang activity. Bruce was literally in my office almost every day. What are we going to do? We have some great organizations, some great community providers willing to step up to make a difference in these young people's lives. They just need the ability to make that happen. What can I do to make that happen? I know Speaker Sharkey again sat with Bruce repeatedly to come up. So we sent them some money down there. I think it was just over $200,000 to get it started. So those are just a couple of the things, and I think the message that we really need to make sure everybody gets in this community is elections are tough. We all understand it. We all get involved in the public light. We know elections are tough. But when you have somebody that has a proven track record of results, and represents the communities that they live in, those are the ones you want in Hartford. Those are the folks you want fighting for what you need in your community. And it gives me no greater pleasure to stand here with both of them today to say these are the type of individuals, these are the elected leaders that we need back in Hartford to share that message. And the results are here. We know the examples of them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Leader, Mr. Speaker, for those great words. And we all know that here, standing, those of us in Norwalk, how great they are here in our communities. Sometimes, you know, it's important to have leaders talk about what their role is up in Hartford, because many times people may not always be aware of the hard work and the effort that it takes to pass legislation, bring funding back to the district, and you know, put things forward that are really great for the state of Connecticut. Let me just also speak on Chris and Bruce and their role in Norwalk. Chris has always been a fighter for Norwalk and for the district. We work hand in hand on a number of initiatives, whether it's part of our district, especially down on Wall Street area, and economic development there as well. And I know that, you know, he is leading that charge in fighting, especially in his role as Commerce Chairman. So I'm proud to endorse Chris as well, and look forward to having him back up at the Capitol again. So it's my honor to
say I accept is putting it mildly. I want to thank Senator Duff, but also to thank Speaker Sharkey and Majority Leader Aresimowicz. I couldn't, as basically a Commerce Chair, it's the first time I've chaired a committee of this magnitude, this importance. Having the two gentlemen behind me, and frankly Senator Duff, who's been up there a long time as well, to work with and just advise and help me understand how to make things happen on that level has been you know, phenomenal mentorship, and I can't thank the people behind me enough to make that happen. Specifically, when we look at you know, the needs for Norwalk, we have an opportunity to not only improve the business climate here in the state of Connecticut, but or Norwalk, but over the last 4 years, we've made significant improvements through the DECD to improve the application process, how businesses are able to get loans, get grants, to improve and upgrade their equipment, to hire people to make the moves they need to grow as businesses stay in the state of Connecticut. Just make no mistake, you know, a lot of companies or a lot of states, their economic and community development directors are calling into Connecticut. They're trying to do everything they can to lure companies away from Norwalk, from other towns around the state. So it's our job through Commerce, through DECD, to stay in touch with our business leaders here to understand what they need, so you know, to keep them staying here. Now, there are a lot of other things that I think are critical going forward. And one of the most important things, and I think one of the most exciting developments here in the last 10 or 15 years I've seen, is right here in Norwalk, is bringing in P-Tech, which is going to, I think, put Norwalk, I think, on the map in the state of Connecticut, and say that, you know, this is where the state of Connecticut sees a lot of our brightest lights, and sees the greatest opportunity to make a positive impact in terms of offering a kind of educational assistance that is going to create the high-tech leaders of tomorrow. And that's starting in Norwalk, and that started as a result of me badgering and Bruce badgering and Bob and everybody else getting behind this effort, wanting to make this happen in Norwalk, and frankly with the help of the leadership behind me, it really is going to be a win for Norwalk, and I can't thank the people here enough. So that's pretty much it in broad strokes. I just wanted to say thank you to the team behind me, and I also want to point out that as we talk about the improvements we want to make for education, but also for economic opportunity, that's going to lift all our children up. I've had some outstanding and in-depth conversations with the gentleman to my left, Representative Bruce Morris. It's like we can talk about what parts of town we represent. We don't. We represent people. We represent families. We represent kids. We represent dreams. And focusing on that, making sure that those dreams are fulfilled, are what Bruce and I have been, and frankly, Senator Duff, we've all been working towards. So that's really the goal. And so with that, I'd like to throw it back to